This is for all those who believe America was ever great. Does this sound familiar, America? In this country, we bleed patriotism. Red, white, and blue flows from our veins like a flood. If someone criticizes our country, they're just not American. Because they don't know what we've gone through or suffered to stay at the top. We say we want to make America great again, but tell me, when was it great? When the Americans first arrived here, they made shady deals with Native Americans to move from their lands. If they couldn't assimilate to our culture, we didn't want them. Anyone who refused to move was slaughtered like cattle. Men, women, children were murdered. Genocide of the millions. Fast forward to the present day, they sometimes live on reservations, poor, with no cooling systems, or plumbing, or a strong shelter, and struggling to survive in a nation that doesn't want them. But we don't talk about that, so let's just move on. Next, we went to Africa and took many of the natives as slaves. We put them on ships side by side and threw the people overboard. Who got sick? We took them against their will, put them in chains, and whipped them when they wouldn't behave. They've got scars on their backs telling their story of their struggle, but we didn't stop it till later because we profited from their pain. Then we abolished slavery, but wait, black people are still considered only 3/4 of a person. In the South, they hung up those Negroes with rope hanging like ornaments on a Christmas tree. Then they had picnics underneath and took pictures to make postcards to send to their friends. Then integration of the schools came, and blacks were spit on for wanting the same education as whites. But we'll just move on, since no one wants to discuss that. What about the people of Spanish descent? They lived in the West before America decided they wanted to colonize it. They were deported after being promised citizenship. During a time of scarce jobs, America was very afraid that they would steal their jobs. So they deported the many who were citizens because of fear of being jobless. Does this sound familiar, America? Fast forward to today, Spanish Americans do the jobs we don't want, but we still blame them for stealing our jobs. Today, a male citizen of Spanish descent will be deported back to a country he hasn't seen in years after being arrested. In America, this happens every day and not many know about it, but it's not important to the white supremacists. So whatever. Asians came from their countries to America for freedom. But they only traded one form of oppression to another because in February 1942, President Roosevelt ordered the relocation of Japanese Americans because of the actions of a few Japanese. The many would endure suffering similar to that of other minorities. Almost 75 years ago, Japanese Americans were subjected to a huge amount of racism, prejudice, and ignorance. But they don't talk about that in the textbooks. Or if they do, it makes it seem like it's no big deal. So I digress. But today in America, we oppress our minorities and don't care when they die. A black man dies and you say that thug deserved it. So to the people who say all lives matter, thank you so much. We know white lives matter. Because when a minority person dies, it's no big deal except to their community. But when the white man dies, there's an uproar. So we know that white lives matter. We just want people to care about the lives of the minorities because most don't. Because some have the mentality all lives matter except those of the minorities. Because To America, we are expendable and replaceable. I want you to know that we are not replaceable or expendable parts of furniture. We are people and we deserve our rights. No longer will we stand for this injustice. So tell me, when was America ever great?